Unveiling the Drama, Miss Night and Day episodes 3 to 4 recap and review. The story deepens as our prosecutor becomes further involved in the complex dual life of our heroine. Alongside the hunt for a serial killer and a cold case from 20 years ago, this week introduces a drug distribution ring and undercover missions. It's getting thrilling. Last week's car crash turned out to be a diversion. Thankfully, Mi-jean wasn't hit by the raincoat killer's car. However, she had a close call when she approached the vehicle to gather the scattered investigation files that had fallen out of Ji-woong's envelope. The raincoat killer was about to step out with his axe but was forced to drive away when Ji-woong arrived. Now, Mi-jean is on his hit list after he heard Ji-woong call out her name. Although he couldn't be sure if the surname he heard was Lee or Im, it hardly matters since our Lee Mi-jean is also known as Im Soon. Speaking of Soon, she becomes an internet sensation after heroically saving one from an acid attack, earning her the Brave Intern Award at work. She also receives numerous thank you gifts from one, including a car. However, because Soon couldn't use Mi-jean's address for her employee details, the gifts are sent to her best friend, Do Jae-young's, Kim Ah-young, house. Hilariously, the delivery person mistakes Jae-young for Soon's daughter. Lol. Interestingly, Jae-young's father is the owner of the building, and Ji-woong has just become the newest tenant, moving into the supposedly haunted apartment upstairs. This sets the stage for more encounters between our main characters. Accidentally clinks glasses too hard and spills the champagne. At the mention of haunted stuff. When Soon hears about the gifts, she quickly heads over to Jae-young's house. This leads to another amusing exchange of "Ajumma, who are you?" and "I'm your best friend, silly." Eventually, Soon has to transform in front of Jae-young at sundown to prove she's actually Mi-jean. Despite Mi-jean's request for Jae-young to record the transformation to alleviate her doubts, I'm concerned about the recording. Jae-young is a YouTuber, and such clips can easily find their way onto the internet. Hopefully, my worries are just me overthinking things. Moving on, Soon decides to return all the gifts to one because K-drama heroines are often too modest to accept lavish presents immediately. Personally, I'd have accepted a coffee shop in my name to avoid financial worries, but our heroine prefers daily coffee from one. It fits her character to help others without expecting anything in return. For instance, she offers genuine encouragement to one after his trauma-induced panic attack triggered by seeing a masked man. This act of kindness increases one's gratitude towards the cleaner Ajumma. As the investigation into the raincoat killer progresses, Ji-woong discovers that the victim was still alive when her arm was severed, and it's the only part of her body that has been found so far. The detective leading the raincoat case, who also compiled the files for the missing women's investigation, mentions a similar case of dismemberment involving a living person. However, the personal details in that particular file are missing, and the detective who handled the case 20 years ago is now retired. Not suspicious at all, right? It seems likely that the dismemberment case relates to Ji-woong's mother, given his flashbacks. Back to the current situation, Ji-woong needs Mi-jean's help to identify the raincoat killer's car from CCTV footage. Since his number is still blocked on her phone due to a previous misunderstanding where she thought he was a voice phishing scammer, he decides to visit her house. Mi-jean's mom, eager to see her daughter with a suitable bachelor, quickly invites Ji-woong in. Why go to a coffee shop when there's tea and fruits at home? She even suggests that Ji-woong make himself comfortable in Mi-jean's room, making her intentions quite clear. Unfortunately, Mi-jean doesn't recognize the car or have grandchildren. Instead, Soon finds herself appointed as Ji-woong's office aide after his previous assistant resigns. For Soon, landing a desk job and realizing her dream of becoming a civil servant is a significant outcome of her Intern of the Month reward. Adding to her delight, she receives tokens of appreciation from Ji-woong, believing he personally requested her as his aide. In reality, he simply needed a new assistant, and the deputy chief prosecutor couldn't be bothered to hire someone else to manage his difficult subordinate. It's a humorous twist of fate. As our heroine blushes and nervously twirls her hair while asking Jae-young to touch up her makeup on her first day as an aide, it's evident she has a crush. Meanwhile, Ji-woong feels uneasy about working with older colleagues. Known for driving away his assistants with his formidable skills, the talented prosecutor makes it clear that someone like Soon, as described by his investigator, Jeo Byung-duk, Yoon Byung-hee, won't last long. Chuckles. Little do Mr. Prosecutor and Mr. Investigator realize, Ms. Aide is far from the ordinary ajumma who backs down from challenges. Whether typing at lightning speed, mastering complex spreadsheets, or trekking up mountains to serve legal notices to recluses, she tackles each task effortlessly. Not to mention, she's adept at coding. What's more, Soon remains unaware that these challenges are crafted to test her resilience. I aspire to embody her determination someday. Despite the prosecutor's reservations about Soon, Ji-woong holds Mi-jin in high regard. She becomes a crucial witness in the raincoat murder case, prompting Ji-woong to provide her with self-defense tools and save his number in her speed dial for emergencies. Ji-woong's caring nature deeply affects Mi-jin, who accidentally dials his number while overwhelmed with emotion. However, Ji-woong's decision to secretly install a GPS tracker on Mi-jin's phone, though meant to protect her, raises ethical concerns about privacy invasion. As the investigation into the raincoat victim progresses, traces of fentanyl are discovered at the crime scene. Interestingly, fentanyl patches were also linked to acid assailant, although he was already in custody during the raincoat killer's murder. Byung-duk's findings reveal that the fentanyl trade surged in Seohan about a year ago. Intriguingly, fentanyl was also found in Ji-woong's mother's body, years after her murder occurred. To prove her value to the team, Soon infiltrates a fentanyl distribution club undercover as Mi-jin, taking advantage of the club's nighttime operations. She gains access to VIP rooms where drug transactions occur. Trouble ensues when a suspicious individual discovers a hidden camera in her bag. Meanwhile, Ji-woong, unable to reconnect with Soon as planned, forcibly enters the club to search for her. He arrives just in time to thwart an attack on Mi-jin by a menacing figure known as Mr. Sleaze, ending the week with a gripping cliffhanger. Next week, join us to see how Mi-jin navigates her way out of a sticky situation that Soon was meant to handle. It's unlikely Ji-woong will discover both women are one and the same so soon. It'll be entertaining to watch his confusion grow as he notices similarities, like Mi-jin's identical backpack to Soon's. Meanwhile, one has turned into a detective, analyzing CCTV footage after spotting Soon cycling, only to later see Mi-jin dressed similarly riding the same bicycle around a corner. Place your bets now on who will uncover Mi-jin's secret first. Bets are now open regarding the identity of the new senior citizen intern at the prosecution office. He is revealed to be a former hospital director who returned to work following the incident involving the raincoat killer's attempt to uncover Mi-jin's surname. Given his medical background, he possesses knowledge of human anatomy and skills related to amputation and dismemberment. However, his role in the unfolding events remains uncertain and could potentially serve as a distraction. Our prosecutor and the transformational heroine must uncover the truth, provided the former detective intern doesn't beat them to it.